Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah, salatu wassalam ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in, amma ba'd. Grade 11 students, in this video we are going to discuss the answers of a graph, both linear graph and parabola graph, the review exercises of the graph given. The first question on your review exercise on linear graph. On the same coordinate plan, draw the graph of the following straight lines by calculating the y values corresponding to three selected values of x. So they gave four different linear graphs. Linear graphs we can call linear graph or straight line graph. Straight line graph. Both words we can use for this graph. We studied linear graph. We start to study linear graph on grade 9. Further, we studied about the updates of gradient and intercept in grade 10. So altogether, we are going to recall what we studied in grade 9 and 10 about linear graphs through this exercise. Okay, first question they asked to draw these four linear graphs on a coordinate plan, on a Cartesian plan. So all four in one Cartesian plan. So y equal x plus 1. That is the first graph they gave. And also they gave some instruction to draw. They asked to find the values of y corresponding to three selected values. So you all know, if you recall grade 10 linear graph, if you want to draw a linear graph after you drawn a parabola, if you draw a parabola, so it will take some time to draw. So in a question to draw a parabola, so we discuss some questions. Altogether draw a straight line graph after parabola. Okay, so in this case I gave an idea. If you want to draw a straight line graph after you drawing a parabola, you can't go for so many coordinates. So you know, in grade 9 and grade 10, if you want to draw a straight line graph, we found 5 coordinates to draw the graph. So the simplest way is you need to find 3 coordinates. That is the basic idea, because you know, using 2 points, we discussed this like this. Using 2 points we can draw a straight line. The minimum we need 2 points to draw a straight line. If we add another point, 3 point, it will be accurate. So that's why we take this point to draw a straight line graph. Minimum we need 3 points. That will be an accurate and correct graph. So the same idea what we studied in grade 10. So in this question they gave the same idea. Find 3 values corresponding to x and y. So what are the 3 values? What we discussed for the coordinates of x, because we are selecting coordinates of x and substituting the x on the equation, we can find the corresponding values to y. So that is the working. So for x coordinate, what are the 3 types? You can select a negative value, you can select 0 always, and you can select a positive value. So those are the 3 values. So that's how we studied in grade 10. So 0, using 0 as a value, so it will help as a coordinate, and also it will help easily we can find the value of y. So that's why we we take 0 as a coordinate. Otherwise y minus and plus. So if you check the Cartesian plan, on this portion x-axis, y-axis, we have 4 portions on a Cartesian plan. So this portion, the coordinates are both x and y are positive. On this portion, x coordinate positive, y coordinate is negative. In this position, x coordinate is negative, y coordinate is positive. In this area, both x and y coordinates are negative. So if you take a negative value, so on x, so you will be having the graph in this area, both this area, because both area the x coordinate is negative. If you got a positive value, so you will be having this area, so it will cover the Cartesian plan. Using this straight line graph, if you want to answer any question, it will help. So that's why we take a negative value and a positive value. For the third coordinate, it will easy to simplify, we take 0. Okay, so first thing, we need to draw all these 4 on a Cartesian plan. So we need to make tables. So y equal x plus 1, that is the first equation. So we make a table with 3 values. So we take one of the value as 0. I take one of the x coordinate on negative is minus 2, positive as 2. So the y values, if you substitute, you know that minus 2 plus 1, that is minus 1. If you substitute 0, it's 1 and 3. So we got 3 points here. We need to calculate all 4 coordinates, then only we can make a Cartesian plan, because we are going to draw all 4 linear graphs on a Cartesian plan. So the second, we have y minus x equal 5. So you can keep this equation like this, or you can change, because some students have made some complication while using this equation. So the easiest format, y equal, if you change the x plus 5, same equation. It's why we are changing the x, it's easy to simplify. So x coordinate, so we are going to we can take same values, minus 2, 0, 2, or we can change any other values. So I'll take minus 1, 0, 1. Okay, so we can take some other values, or we can take minus 3. So we can take minus 3, minus 2 and 0, because I draw the linear graph before doing this answer session. So minus 1, 0, 1, I need to drag the linear graph. I'll explain after completing this table. Okay, I'll take minus 2, minus 3, minus 2 and 0. Okay, if we substitute minus 3, the answer of y, minus 3 plus 5, it will be plus 2. So if we substitute minus 2, it will be 3. So if you substitute 0, it will be 5. So the table of values, I'll take this one. So if you take this values, you need to drag the graph, you need to produce the graph to do the second part of this question. Okay, so we'll discuss at the second part. Okay, third part, 2y equal minus x minus 4. Okay, consider this equation. If we substitute any values for x after the sum, after the addition or subtraction, you have to divide the value with 2. So it is easier to divide by 2 if the result from this minus x and minus 4, if the result is an even number, it is easy to divide. We can do the working fast. So I'll take the coordinates minus 2 and 2 and 0, because if you substitute minus 2, the result will be an even number, so I can divide easily. So 2y equal minus, it's on the equation, we are going to substitute minus 2 minus 4. So both minus, we have 2 plus 2 and minus 4, 2y equal. So y equal minus 2. So 2y equal minus 2. So y equal, we can easily divide. So if we have an even number, so we can easily divide. That's why I put even numbers. Before going to do, you should think, because we are in grade 11. So you need to think more than the syllabus, more than the theories. So you have to think how easily we can do this question. நிறைய பிள்ளைகள் வந்து அந்த விஷயங்கள் யோசிக்கிறதில்ல, தியரியை படிக்கிறாங்க, ஒர்க்கிங் செய்கிறாங்க. ஆனால் இந்த இடத்துல வந்து எனக்கு தெரியும், நீங்கள் ஆன்சர் அனுபவ போல் நான் செக் பண்ணி பார்க்குறேன். இதில் இந்த வேல்யூஸை கன்சிடர் பண்ணாமல் சும்மா ரைட் -1 0 அதெல்லாம் போட்டுக்கொண்டு போவாங்க. கிராஃப் வரைகிற நேரம் அவங்களுக்கு ஒரு சின்ன கம்ப்ளிகேஷன் வரும். அதுக்கு பிறகு சில நேரம் அவங்க சேஞ்ச் பண்ணலாம். ஆனால் அதுக்கு முதல்ல நம்ம கொஞ்சம் இந்த மாதிரி விஷயங்களை யோசிக்கணும். நம்ம கிரேட் 11ல் இருக்கிறோம். கொஷின் செய்கிற நேரம் வந்து நிறைய ஐடியாஸை நம்ம ஃபார்ம் பண்ணணும். ஓகே, ஸோ த ஃபஸ்ட் வேல்யூ ஆஃப் y இஸ் -1. So if you add a 0 here, the result is -4 divided by 2, it's -2. So if you add 2, so the result will be -6, so -3. So for the fourth one, so we have 3x plus 2y equals 6. So 2y equal -3x plus 6. The same case here we have, if you substitute any values for x, the result will be, if the result will be an even number, you can easily divide it by these 2. Okay, so I'll take the same values. Considering this point, I'll take the same values, -2, 0 and 2. So if you substitute -2, -3 into -2, it will be +6. So the sum is 12 divided by 2, so which gives 6. If we substitute 0, entire is 0, so 2y equals 6, so divided by 2, it's 3. If you substitute 2, the result is -6. -6 plus 6, 0. So divided by 2, it is also 0. So we take all the values for each and every linear graphs. So we make the table. So சில நேரம் வந்து நீங்கள் எடுத்துருக்கக்கூடிய கோஆர்டினேட்ஸ் வந்து இதில் இருந்து டிஃப்ரெண்ட் ஆகலாம், பிரச்சனை இல்லை. இப்போ நீங்கள் ஒரு ஐடியாவில் வந்து அந்த கோஆர்டினேட்ஸ் எடுத்திருப்பீங்க. நான் இப்போ உங்களுக்கு ஒரு ஐடியா சொல்லியிருக்கிறேன். இப்போ 2 ஐடியா உங்களுக்கு கிடச்சிருக்குது, நல்ல. அண்ட் எப்போவும் மேட்ச் செய்கிற நேரம் வந்து ஐடியாஸ் நிறைய நீங்கள் எப்போ எடுக்கிறீங்களோ வந்து அப்போ உங்களுக்கு ஒர்க் பண்ணுறது கொஞ்சம் ஈஸியாக இருக்கும். சரி, நான் இந்த கோஆர்டினேட்ஸ் எடுத்துறதுக்கான ஐடியாஸை நான் உங்களுக்கு சொல்லியிருக்கிறேன். அந்த ஐடியாஸை கொஞ்சம் நினைவு வச்சுக்கோங்க. Okay students, using the tables, so I draw the linear graphs. So you can see the graph which I draw. So I also send these files, so you can check with the PDF file. So that is the case we discussed on the second part. So if you draw with -1, 0 and 1, the second graph, it will stop here. If you use minus 1, 0 and 1, the graph stops here. So minus 1 here. So the graph stops here. But the second part, the B question, what they are asking, write down the coordinates of the points. Write the coordinates of the points at which each straight line intersects main axis. So the question of B is, you need to write the coordinate where the straight line intersect on y-axis and x-axis. So if you take minus 1, 0 and 1, the graph is stopped here. So you need to drag the graph to find the coordinate of the intersection of the x-axis. So that's why I change the coordinates as minus 3, minus 2 and 0, because if the graph stops here, so it is difficult to drag it. My graph starts here, minus 3, so it is easy. So it is also out of the scale, because I take, if you divide equally, we have 4 coordinates on both x-axis and y-axis. Recall what we practice on grade 10. First of all, I asked to do count how many boxes are there, okay, on horizontally and vertically. So if you have the same knowledge, so we have 4 coordinates on x, 4 coordinates on y. So it is out of the scale, but a small part is out of the scale. So I make the values with a straight line ruler. So the coordinate is minus 5. Okay, this is the graph what we drawn using that table. So we are going to answer the second part of the question. The second part of the question, they asked to write down the intersection of main axis. So the intersection of main axis, we can take it from the graph. So we'll take with the first graph. The first graph, what we have, y equal x plus 1. So the intersection on y-axis, we all know the x plus 1, the equation x plus 1, the plus 1 indicates where the linear graph intersect on y-axis. In other words, we can call intercept. So remember the theories, intercept. Okay, if a straight line graph intersect on y-axis, the x-axis, x coordinate is always 0. The y-axis passes through x equals 0. When x equals 0, the point on the point x equals 0, the y-axis passes through. So the coordinates of intersecting on y-axis, it's 0, 1. The x-axis intersection on x-axis minus 1, 0. So using this graph, you can take the intersection values. So you can check the answers I have sent already. So you can check the answers. You know how to get the answer. Okay, we'll go for the second question. Review exercise second question. For each of the straight lines given below, determine whether the given pairs of coordinates lie on it or not. So the same work what we done in the first, we are going to reverse it. So in the first question, they gave the equations. They gave the equations of each and every straight line graph. So we select x coordinates. We select x coordinates and we substitute the x coordinates. Using the x coordinates, we found the y coordinates. In other words, we can say x and y, these x and y, these pairs, these coordinates which will satisfy this equation. If you represent x and y another time, it will satisfy the equation. Satisfy means the left hand side is equal to right hand side. If you substitute -2 and -1 at a time on y and x, the left hand side and the right hand side are going to be equal. In simply we can say these coordinates are going to satisfy this equation. Okay, so that is the question on the second part. So the first part they gave equation y equal 2x minus 3. Okay, y equal 2x minus 3. They gave three coordinates 1, 1 and 0, 3 and 2, 1. So if you substitute these values for x and y, the equation going to be satisfied. So I take the left hand side of the equation, that is y, the right hand side of the equation, so that is 2x minus 3. So the y coordinates of the first given, the y coordinate is 1. So I am going to substituting y 1. So left hand side I have 1. So what about right hand side? Okay, substitute for x 1 because the x coordinate is 1. So 2 into 1 minus 3. The result is 2 minus 3 minus 1. So if you check the left hand side and right hand side, it is not equal, which means in other word these coordinates not satisfy this equation. So we can come for a conclusion 1, 1 is not a coordinate on this straight line graph. If this coordinate is on this graph, it will satisfy LHS equals to RHS. 1, 1 coordinate நாங்கள் இந்த ஈக்குவேஷனில் சப்ஸ்டிடியூட் பண்ணினா லெஃப்ட் ஹேண்ட் சைடில் எங்களுக்கு என்ன வேல்யூ வருதோ அதே தான் ரைட் ஹேண்ட் சைட்லேயும் வரணும். ஆனால் இங்கே நீங்கள் அப்சர்வ் பண்ணிங்கண்டா லெஃப்ட் ஹேண்ட் சைடோட வேல்யூவும் ரைட் ஹேண்ட் சைடோட வேல்யூவும் டிஃப்ரெண்ட். ஸோ எல்ஹெச்எஸ் ஆர்ஹெச்எஸ்க்கு ஈக்குவல் இல்லை அப்படின்னா எங்களுக்கு சொல்லலும் 1, 1 கோஆர்டினேட் y ஈக்குவல் 2x minus 3 ஒரு பாயிண்ட்டாக இல்லை என்று சொல்லலும். அப்போ எங்கள்கிட்ட கேட்ட கேள்வி என்னன்னு கேட்டால், தந்திருக்கிற இந்த 3ல் செலக்ட் பண்ணுங்க எந்த கோஆர்டினேட் வந்து அந்த ஸ்ட்ரைட் லைனில் இருக்குது. அப்போ நாங்கள் இதை போட்டு பார்த்து தான் நாங்கள் செக் பண்ணலாம், அதில் சப்ஸ்டிடியூட் பண்ணி தான் செக் பண்ணலாம். அப்போ இது ஃபர்ஸ்ட் கோஆர்டினேட். ஓகே, செகண்ட் கோஆர்டினேட் இதே மாதிரி நாங்கள் போட்டோம்னா y, செகண்ட் கோஆர்டினேட்டுக்குரிய y வந்து 3. ஓகே, இங்கே நாங்கள் போட்டோம்னா x minus 3, இங்கே நாங்கள் சப்ஸ்டிடியூட் பண்ணினோம்னா எக்ஸுக்குரிய கோஆர்டினேட் 0. ஸோ 2 into 0 minus 3. So 0 minus 3, answer minus 3. So here also LHS it's not equals to RHS because minus 3 plus 3. So simple, you don't want to do the third part. Third part is the answer. So we'll do for our knowledge. So the third part, y coordinate is y is 1. So on the left hand side we have 1, right hand side 2x minus 3. So if you substitute x for 2, so 2 into 2 minus 3. So 4 minus 3 it's 1. So LHS equal RHS. So LHS equals to RHS, which means this coordinate satisfy this equation. So the 2, 1 is the point. 2, 1 is the coordinate on the straight line y equal 2x minus 3. So the work is you have to do the calculation as fast, and you can check which coordinate satisfy the equation. That is the theory behind this question. In the coordinate வந்து LHS equal RHS என்று வருது அப்படின்னு நாங்கள் ஃபாஸ்ட்டாக செக் பண்ணினா அந்த பாயிண்ட் அந்த ஸ்ட்ரைட் லைனில் இருக்கு. இதான் இதுக்குரிய தியரி. ஸோ now you know the theory, so you can do the workings. So second question we have y equal 2x minus 3. சேம் ஈக்குவேஷன் தந்திக்கிறாங்க, ஆனால் டிஃப்ரெண்ட்டான கோஆர்டினேட்ஸ் தந்திக்கிறாங்க. சேம் ஈக்குவேஷன் given y equal 2x minus 3. So different coordinates are given 0, -3, half, 4 and 1, 3. So we substitute 0. If you substitute 0 like this, the result of y is -3. So using this working you can pick the answer. So 0, -3 is the coordinate lies on 2x minus 3 with this given pairs. Okay, we'll go for the third question.